Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? It is
Hey, we're back.
We're back. We're back.
Yeah.
We're back. So good to see everyone. My screen is really small. I don't know what happened, but I guess we are a full screen. How's your screen looking over there, guys?
Good.
It looks, you see everyone.
Okay. So mine is minimal, and we're going to leave it like that. But I'm just so happy that we're on tonight. You know, we are the Cupcakes, everybody. We have been in the lab. Everybody's been doing your thing. It is a WooSaaaa Wednesday, and we have a lot going on. All right, you guys. It is May the 18th, 2022. I'm your host, Renita Williams, and we are back, everybody, because you know what? We haven't been drinking any tea. We don't sip any tea. We cut the cake, and what do? We eat it too. We have a special cupcake today, and he is right over there in the corner. But before we get started, we're going to introduce ourselves, reintroduce once again for those of you who are new. Welcome to the show. Again, I'm Renita Williams. To my top right, we have our girl Dana.
Dana Robinson.
Hey, Dana.
Hi, everybody.
And who else do we have below Dana right there in that square, in that Brady Bunch square?
That's my hip-hop connoisseur.
Well, I don't know about hip-hop anymore. More empathetic. I'm an educator and I'm your round-the-way girl, Marlene Davis Ali. How's everyone doing?
Yes. And I want to introduce a very, very good friend of mine, a day one, in Dana's day one. As you guys are going to learn a little bit more about it a little later, but we have Mr. Stan Lee, Stan the man from New Jersey. I call him Noonie, but we're going to talk a little bit more about that a little later. If you guys are new to the show, and I'm sure you guys already know who he is because it's a big event getting ready to happen in Jersey, and he is one of the producers. All right.
Can't wait.
So you guys welcome into our show. And I'm actually watching the Dallas Mavericks show. Okay, we have a buzzer going on. Hang on a second. The Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. All right. You know, I'm a sportsnista, and as you guys know, I'm down here in the MIA. I used to be a New Jersey Nets fan, but right now I'm going with the Heat.
Okay.
Right now we have the Dallas Mavericks versus the Golden State Warriors. It's live. It's a hot game. Everybody wanted the Phoenix Suns to win, though. They wanted the Phoenix Suns to beat Dallas Mavericks. And my brother-in-law was telling me over the weekend, he was like, because it would have been like the biggest game against Golden State, the Phoenix Suns versus Golden State. That would have been like the biggest game everyone's been waiting for. It didn't happen. So now we got Dallas in the running with Golden State. Whoever wins the best out of 7 plays the best out of 7 with Miami Heat and Boston. We'll talk about that a little later. All right. But you know what? Before we even move forward and even get into this whole show and dig in, I do want to pay my condolences, and the show wants to pay their condolences to all of the lives that have perished and that we lost during this horrific terroristic act in Buffalo, New York.
Yes.
Dana, you were talking about this. What's going on?
Yes. Well, unfortunately, we had a young man that had been pretty much staking out the supermarket in Buffalo. I believe that he started that in March, and then he drove almost 3 hours with the intent of executing African Americans. And I believe that there are 10 fatalities out of that. I don't know if it has grown. So this seems to be, I don't know if it's an epidemic. I don't know what's going on, but it's becoming way too normal. But we cannot do normal everyday things,
right,
and be afraid. So condolences in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Well, that thing's a plan. And just my 2 cents on it real quick is I believe white supremacists are cowards. They hide. Yes. That young man hid behind armor, right?
Yes.
They're hiding behind their white sheets when they're the KKK. They're hiding behind sheets. They're hiding behind the blue wall. They hide. They're cowards. right? And so this is a cowardly act by a coward, right? And he should get zero credit. He should, but the bigger news to me is his treatment after they caught him.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
To me, when that young man down in South Carolina went to that church and executed those people in the church, he went there because it was a purpose. He went there because he was mad that they had helped force the removal of that flag. Right, the Confederate flag. But they took that boy out for McDonald's before they put him in jail or took him to the police station. Same thing, right? But a young man, a little boy playing in a park by himself with a toy gun, with every little kid did ever, wasn't even given a second. Right. A young lady sleeping in her house, right? Lawfully, right? They kick it in, didn't take a second. He was sleeping, right? That young man up in Minnesota, right, who begged for his life, right, didn't get the respect that those two people got and more, right? And that's the real issue.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a lot going on. There was an incident also over the weekend in California.
Renita, if I may, one, I'd like to say one thing to that, because it's so horrific what happened in Buffalo. But my position on that right now is that as African Americans, and I hear what you're saying, Stan, as far as I'm concerned, I really don't have too much to say about that right now. I feel that this is the time for white Americans of goodwill to come out and condemn it. I think it's really their time to speak up. I appreciate what President Biden said and calling it a cancer and calling it an evil, great. And that's where I think the onus is right now. It's time for white folks of goodwill to speak out and condemn it.
So who are you calling on, Marlene, like specifically, like what groups? Are we looking at any type of organized groups or just individuals in particular?
Anyone and both. Groups and individuals, anyone and both. We are the victims of this hate. Just as Stan mentioned the different cases, we speak, we cry, we kneel. I think it's time for those other folks, for white folks of goodwill, to come out and condemn it.
Okay.
Well, the agents got one person, and no disrespect for that one life, all lives are precious, all right? But that young lady who had got killed on her staircase or whatever, the agents went and got a bill, right? The Asian Hate Act, right? Whatever. So
hate crimes bill.
So there needs to be a hate crime bill, right?
Yes. For African Americans.
Right now, will that stop it? No, because hate is going to be hate, right? But if you don't start somewhere, all right, what's going to happen is what they want to happen. We already know what their manifestos say. We already know what they want to happen.
Right.
Right.
But do you believe it is taught? Do you believe it's learned? What are your thoughts in terms of
all of it? I think all of the above. I don't think you're born with it.
No,
right?
no,
Children are born innocent. Right.
Right.
Well, they're raised with it, right? And then they are not some, even though they were raised with it, have overcome and so was educated. Right. And so some of these, which is why they don't want that kind of education, because they have an agenda, right? And then you have some people who all this stuff finally made them open their eyes. And some of them had their eyes open, but they just kept going, well, right?
I agree.
But now they're being forced to look in the mirror and they see themselves. And those people who are doing it want them to see them. Right? They're doing every time they talk on television, they throw codes, and you can see it. Just like our fraternities and sororities, we have, code, we do things. They're out there doing codes, right? And they're doing it, and people don't even realize it. It's all of David Duke started the whole
Yeah,
plan,
well, we know that.
right? He
Yeah.
started the whole plan. He started the whole mission on what they. Of course, he wasn't the first Ku Klux Klan person, but he started this whole get into public life, get into the policing, get into whatever. And I mentioned policing twice, so let me just say, we know there's some really good police officers out in the
Yes,
world,
we
right?
do.
First
It's
of
in our
all,
blood, actually.
and let
Right.
me just interject really quickly. You guys, when I say day one, I say this because our dad, Stan's dad, my dad, they all were police officers, rookies going through the ranks
Right.
with the East Orange Police Department. I want to give total shout outs to all the officers. Let me give my bell, excuse me.
All of them. All of them.
East Orange Police Department. As a matter of fact, and let me give some history on Stan and I, his dad, Stan Dennis, and my dad, Jimmy Hughes. They were rookies together in the police cars, rookies together, partners together. And when I was my mom was having me, in labor, my dad and Mr. Dennis, they were in a car together. My dad got the call. They rushed to the hospital, and my dad got to the hospital in time before I was born. And my dad named my middle name Denise after Mr. Dennis. So version of Dennis, which is Denise, and that's how I got my middle name. Thank you.
What a tribute.
This is
Nice.
Did you know that? Did you know that, Stan? Did you know that story?
Yeah, she told me 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. So you just found out.
But I know, but we knew each other. But he was in my house all the time playing with my sister and brother.
But Stan, he was a little older, so he was a little bit more cooler when he would come over. We were like the little kids running around, and he has he has a lot of siblings, so we used to play with all them, but he was too cool for us because he was like, oh, you guys are little kids. But anyway, it's a full circle.
Well, hold on to that, Dana.
Yes.
So your dad was younger than our dad, but was right in with them.
Yes.
And your dad was one of my personal mentors when I became worshipful master of my lodge at St. John. They were all right.
Well, thank you.
Your dad would call me up. I would be sit in the car. He would be like, Noonie, now you listen. And if you knew her dad, like I was probably one of the only people he actually talked to in the manner of
everybody else was getting orders.
Everybody else.
Yes. Yes.
Everyone else was afraid of her dad.
And that's the truth.
And I say that because everyone was afraid of my dad.
And everyone was afraid of my dad. I mean, coming to my house was like a big terror threat. Even walking past the house, they're like, "Oh my God, no, your dad, no, we're not coming past her." Right. They would glance and look. I'm on the, it was just that type of a thing back in the 70s and 80s. With our dads in the positions that they held, and because they were such public figures, not only police officers but mentors, public figures. He was the president of the Kinsman Association.
Wow.
They started the Kinsman.
It was a bond. It was a brotherhood. It was a fraternity.
Mm-hmm.
And these guys, I'm telling you. I mean, I remember just growing up, going to Martin State.
Your dad and my dad, they would play basketball in Elmwood Park with the kids. Like the kids knew them.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Like when I walked.
The day one.
That's what we need in policing now. We need police officers who are known by their community that they serve.
They knew.
I can remember in the middle of the night.
How you were doing in school? What you doing in school?
Yes, they would call in the middle of the night. They might have been pulled over like that. They would call our house, and my dad would be like, "Who is this?" Okay, yeah, I know him. He's fine. Let him go. You know what I mean? Like, remember that day? Like, we would get calls and
yeah, I do. I remember a call being made 1 or 2
all the time. But because it was a community. It was a community, and our dads knew the kids and knew the families. They're like, no, you're not going to put him incarcerate him. No, let him go. And I think that's what's needed today. That's what's needed.
And their bond stayed together when my father moved down to Deltona, right?
My dad.
Your dad moved down to her dad moved down to Deltona, and so her dad would watch over my mom after my dad, went on his vacation,
Yes,
and of course,
yes.
you know, uh,
Absolutely. It's all
so
love. And it's
yeah.
like it's such a good feeling. Like when I talked to Stan, I mean, I called Miss Pat, Stan's mom. We just sat and reminisce. And I just had so many happy tears because it was a community. We would visit each other's houses. Like it was not just work, it was really family. Like it was really, you know what I mean? Like Dana and I, thick as thieves. It was just like that. And like I said, it's full circle. You see us right now. This is like 50
So
years 50 years later,
when
right?
Yep. Yeah.
when I told my mom you were gonna call, she started talking about Nathan Knight, Mr.
Yep,
Knight. Y'all
Mr.
remember,
Knight. Exactly.
right?
Mr.
And,
Staten,
and Nathan,
Mr.
Oh
Grimes, Charlie
God.
Grimes, who became
All
chief
of
of police.
Mr.
yeah,
Childress, all of
yeah,
Mr.
them.
Childress, JJ
Val,
Jackson.
So I was
Oh,
with JJ. I was literally with JJ probably a week before he passed.
Oh,
I Billy Oliver is still in the mix.
oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Billy
You
Oliver.
yeah.
He was in my
dropping
development.
knowledge now.
And
That was the crew.
the Reeves, right?
Hmm.
Yes.
Mr. Reeves, right? And so
We can go, you
my
guys, we
mom,
can go on and on.
they're down there. Well, Miss Reeves is I don't know if she's in Florida, but her sister is still, I mean, the daughter is
Yeah.
still
Well, I
in the
told your
family
mom,
mix.
Noonie, I told your mom that, because she's not that far away. She's right up the coast. Once I head up there this summer, I'll definitely be stopping by because I know your sister Wanda is there. I want to see Michelle.
No,
I want to
Debbie's
see
there.
I want to see Michelle, everybody.
Michelle's there right now.
Yeah, oh, and
Michelle became a.
Rodney, or the youngest brother who was closest to my age, I was like, Rodney better be at the event. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that a little later, but he better be there.
Can't wait.
If
Like,
he's not
okay,
down, if he's not down with mommy, he just became a grandfather too.
I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, beautiful baby. Beautiful, beautiful baby. But everyone watching, thank you guys again for watching. We got a good look at some comments. We had to reminisce. I had to do this, you guys, because I knew it was going to be this type of a show once Stan, Noonie, Dennis came on and Dana was here. Like it was, I couldn't help myself. So now you guys have a little insight about myself, of course, about Cupcake Dana, and now our new Cupcake Stan, Noonie, Dennis.
I'm a blue velvet.
All right.
And we have someone making cupcakes for us
Blue pie.
for our event.
Pie
Again, we
baby.
want to shout out to everyone. Welcome. Thank you for coming in, Brandon. Apple Crescent, thank you. T-Mac, thank you for coming in. Welcome all the cupcakes. Everyone, again, welcome to the show. We are constantly like trying to create new ideas. And we're going to be doing a big event coming up. We're going to have a appearance at one of Stan's events that's coming up in a couple of weeks that you've been hearing about on this channel. We're going to talk about that a little later. But before we move into that, I do want to say, again, with the contraband and, what Biden has been trying to do with eliminating the usage of having firearms so easily. That seems to be our issue and our problem. This particular young man was 22 years old in Buffalo who decided to do this massacre. And we talk about how we grew up with guns in our homes because our dads were in law enforcement.
Yes.
And it was like it was protected. It was known. We didn't look for anything. There were no issues because they protected the household, and that was their job. That was their career. But I know Dana, and if Dana, you want to go into that a little bit, that's we talked about it behind the scenes, but you can talk about it. But Florida is a stand your ground state. And right now, of course, everybody has surveillance cameras around their homes, the Ring thing. So if anyone comes anywhere near your house, you're gonna know. So, it's like stand your ground, stand guard, because don't do it down here or anywhere because, people are defending and protecting their families and their homes. Dana,
Yes.
would you like to,
Yes.
like to
Okay. So my 21st birthday gift was a 38 from my dad. He bought it in Florida. And he actually taught me how to use it at Mr. Jackson's house. JJ.
Oh, wow.
So I had to get the whole lesson on loading it, not loading it, but I'm gonna back up a little bit. Like Nita said, we grew up around guns.
Right.
So we had a respect for them. I mean, my father would keep the ankle holster right under, I can see it now, right on the left side, under the couch, and he was like, hand me my gun. And I knew how to hand the gun.
Right.
You know, you don't shoot, you know, you just knew.
Yeah.
So I wasn't afraid. I didn't have a curiosity about it. But when he gave it to me, he said, I don't know if I'm making a mistake or if I'm doing the right thing, but this, you know, because I was living on my own at the time. He said, you know, gave me the rules. You call 911. You warn someone twice to get out of your house. And then if that doesn't happen, it, you know, it is what it is. Renee, I used to have Target results on I was so on my wall in my
used to go to that range.
So when people rolled through, I'm like, you see what's up.
Right.
Skills.
You know, but you know what, that's good. You know, and that's as a 20-something, you know, you have to respect that. You know what I mean? Because a lot, you have to protect yourselves in whatever way you know, whatever ways your environment has conditioned you to be, but to be very responsible, right?
Very responsible. I mean, and I'm afraid of guns, like in the sense of I'm not afraid. I know how to use them, but I know the rule that my dad gave me: you don't ever pull it out unless you intend to use it. And I don't want to ever be in that situation. And the way that we have it now in our house, we have a 16-year-old. Is my husband? I think he has 2 9mm, and we struggle with. You know, this new generation, they're not made like us. But that's what I struggled with was, you know, do we make him familiar with the guns or, you know, whatever? And then we don't want that curiosity there. So what we take him target practice. And he knows how to do it too. I mean, of course, if someone rolls in, it's my baby and I here, you know who's black, you know what it is. But he's familiar enough with it.
Right.
Unfortunately, you know, we're living in a time where you're not even safe in your own home.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a similar story real quick. My father too. So my father took us out because boys are different than, you know, when we were growing up, we played with those things. And so we can't mistake those things that we play with and want to say, oh, let's go get the real thing in daddy's room.
Right.
So daddy would take us out into the woods and we became very familiar. The Greek Fest, my beach party, when it started, you know, I was in college or I was out of college, but I was still living out in New York, and my parents weren't coming to my step shows, and I'm a Sigma, and my dad, whatever that boy's doing. But when the beach party hit like 25,000 people, right, I said to my dad, hey, Dad, can you come out? I want you to see it. I want you to see what I'm doing. I want you to see why I left law school.
Party.
Yeah.
And they were dope parties, I might add.
Yes, they were. Yes, we're gonna dig deep in a minute.
We planned all year for the outfit.
Yes.
And so my dad, like, I asked him to bring a couple of guys, you know, and I just wanted him to do it. I was gonna, you know, pay them, you know, bring them out. Dad thought he was coming to like a 50 people beach party. He thought I was exaggerating, right?
Man.
And at the end of the day, 25,000, 30,000 people, whatever was there that particular day.
Right.
We were in my apartment, and he walked in, and he handed me 2 guns, and he said, "Now you listen. I'd rather you be judged by 6 than carried by 6."
Okay.
Right? He said. He said, but just like I taught you, just what Dana said, you know the rules. This is how it is. This is what you're going to pay attention to. This is this, that, and the other. Exactly. Right? And but that was our dad. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and just going to the range, you know, as a teenager, you know, and I was just told not to really talk too much about it, but you know, now I'm at a certain age, I can, but that experience has taught me well. And like I said, it's a code. It's almost like a code, like a law
It is.
enforcement's kid code. And I think we've all been exposed to, you had no choice, because our
Right.
parents wanted to make sure we're protected. And, again, just being able to get behind that trigger and going into the range, you kind of have to know and respect it. So, I mean, and I know we think our dads, I know it's just a big thankfulness that I do have with what I definitely was taught, learning how to take care of that contraband, that firearm. So
It was a bonding experience. When I think about
and
your dad has passed on, and like that's our thing. That was our thing. Like he taught me. And all of your dads, Nita and Stan, are very influential in my growth. Period.
Exactly.
They were just always there, even when you didn't want them there. I'm like,
always there.
How'd you make it? Why are you here at the peppermint? He on the other side of the peppermint. I'm on one side. Like
88,
night, without you, working.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
they loved us, and
yeah. And I just thought it was important to touch on that because of what happened and what's going on currently. Again, we just want to make sure everybody can just stay safe, protect yourselves, everyone. Keep your guard up. My dad taught me so many things about the surroundings, your environment, how to keep your little angers up. Keep everything up, not to have your guard down. As I know that's kind of the code. You can't keep your guard down. Right, Stan?
So my little last touch on this, because this is y'all show. I'm just like visiting.
Oh, come on! You're a cupcake today.
I don't think there's I don't think we have a gun problem. They try to make it look like in our communities we have a gun problem.
Okay.
We don't make those guns. They get them to come and infiltrate our environment.
Okay.
They have an issue with guns. They're the ones using them for these mass shootings. They're the ones that are doing this. They're the ones making the guns.
Yeah.
Right? And so we don't have the problem. We have a problem with making sure that we need to stay safe. Right?
Right.
All right. They have the problem. And it's going to continue to be their problem until that gets handled in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Marlene, do you think we have any, what do you think we can moving forward with this situation? Just to end on this segment right here.
Well, by the way, my father was a maintenance man for Celanese and Bristol Myers.
Okay.
Later he
BMS. I used to work for BMS.
He fixed air conditioners, but
real men do real things.
Okay. Quite frankly, I feel that it's time for white Americans to speak to other white Americans about the hate.
Okay.
And so I applaud Biden for taking that first step and calling it what it is. And that's where I'm at now. That's where I'm at.
Okay.
On you.
Thank you. So, just moving on to other things. I mean, we do want to also acknowledge, and we talked about this with country music. We just kind of want to move and shift a little bit. Rest in peace to Naomi Judd.
Yes. Rest in peace.
We talked about this, and I just felt it was kind of big because although country music, I mean, it's a major contribution to music, and the Judd sisters, as we know, played a major part and still do in music. But what really got me is that it was dealing with mental health.
Yes.
Like what happened to her. And, she was in her 70s. To me, you look on the outside, you don't know what's going on. You think all these millions a month, all these millions of dollars. They just got inducted into the Country Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Right. And then all of a sudden this happens. So now this is Mental Health Month. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And
well, did you hear her story? Did you hear what she said?
I don't know the backstory. Can you help us out with that?
Can you give us?
Yeah, she said when she came off the road, she was home and she was home alone.
Oh, okay.
Right. And that was the story. Like, if you take that and you start to realize it when everyone is gone,
Right.
when the music stops,
Right.
and you know, as a teacher, think about it. When the summertime comes, right? We know we have this space and time that we act like we glorify when we're not going to be there. But you miss little Johnny and Ray Ray.
Really?
you know, you know what I'm saying, right?
You wondering what
Like,
they up to, and
and so today, like, I went to my park and I was coming through,
Okay.
and I saw one of the high school baseball games going on, and I pulled up and I went to go see if one of my kids was playing. He was
Wow.
there.
Right.
He was there, but he pitched the last game, so he was just in the dugout.
Okay.
But then another one of my former students came around, and he was like, "Hey, Mr. Dennis, I'm on my way to William Patterson College. I got a full ride." You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
wow. Yep.
And that's
Our parents,
those are hugs, and give my man a high five and everything. But like his story, that kid I'm talking about, that we know those stories. They have them, and then to watch them be able to overcome those stories. But we do miss them. I look, and they miss us. They
Of
come
course.
back to see us, right?
We've
So
had
yeah,
an impact on them. Yes, I agree.
yeah. So when those quiet moments come, we know what it's like just to have a vacation.
Sure.
We know that we want that quiet time, but when you are not trying to have that quiet time, and that's what she was, I think, what happened to her, the music stopped. They were famous. They
Right.
were on top of the world,
Of
and then
course.
all of a sudden, the music
So
stopped.
now, let's just put all this into perspective. So what her whole mental health was really all about was just when the party or when
Well,
the
I can only take what she
the show
said.
was
I don't
over.
know if that's everything for her.
Okay.
I know
But
that's what she said.
but also too, her husband was away at the time. Sometimes
Oh.
when you're dealing with mental illness, those people, us, cannot be left alone. I think her husband was in some Swiss country and she was with him also, but she did something unusual. She came back home. She came back home to Tennessee. Usually they would come back home together, but she came back home without him. So she was by herself, I guess, a week or so, and they talked on the phone, and those demons that she had been battling, got the best of her. So
Wow, that's unfortunate. I mean, like at first when I heard it happen, I thought it was maybe like some type of sickness, but then the next day I heard it was suicide. I said, "What the heck?" I mean, I was shocked.
Well,
yeah,
it was both of what you said. It is a sickness,
Yeah.
and then she helped herself. So
Yeah. So
and
again,
I applaud her daughters for putting it out there, because it's
They
something
did.
that we cannot be ashamed of.
Right.
So we lost our mother to the disease of mental illness. That's the big takeaway. We have to not be ashamed of it.
Not be
Speak
ashamed
about
of it and address it and just head on and just deal with it. And that's what I think more people are coming out more and more to address it and not have it so much in the dark now. And I think that just because it's just such a thing that is so prevalent right now that everyone's affected by mental health in some type of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's just how you choose to deal with it. But there's a lot of help out there now. There's a lot of resources out there. And I think that that's something that if you feel it, take advantage of it.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Please do.
So, and, rest in peace, Naomi Judd.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's everybody else doing? How you guys doing out there? We also, we have the cruise coming up. We want to talk about that a little bit. Tony, he's on a cruise. He's our travel agent, and he's actually the owner of Dream Vacations. He couldn't be with us tonight, but we have our cruise coming up in 2023, April 28th through May 1st. So please get your ticket. Contact Tony Bell. It will be in the community chat, of course, on this page. So you guys make sure you get your cruise, book your room at this time. Book your room, $200. That's it. You have a year to do it. So Stan, of course, we have a whole Greek arena, a Greek whole portion of the whole cruise. And, you know, it's just, we're ready for it. So I have to make sure I talked about that today. We've been away for a while. So again, welcome everybody. You guys see anyone in the chat you want to shout out? You see anyone in the chat that we didn't get to? Gypsy TT Terrence. Gypsy, you coming in the room?
Apple
Gypsy,
Crescent. I owe you a book.
Hey everyone.
Yes, you guys, welcome again. Order the cleanse, It Works cleanse. We do have our 343. We just finished up the May detox cleanse for May. We're going to start again in June. That is going to happen. That's for 4 days that we cleanse. We only eat fruits and vegetables and water. So we'll be starting up again on June the 3rd. Order your It Works cleanse. I see that in the chat. It's a good detox. It cleanses you out. It's like a colonic in a bottle. So please order your cleanse on miamiglowskin.com. Also, everybody, make sure you guys tune in and get your book. Dana has a book out, and I'm going to actually get my book. So excuse me, everyone.
Uh-oh.
I gotta
I
get
hear
my
you,
book.
Jane.
I'm gonna get it real soon.
Yes,
Real
so
we-
a couple things.
Yeah, so we got to talk.
Because I have this screen, but the book is called I Am She. You might not be able to see it because of my green screen. I'm going to try to take my green screen down.
Oh, how
But
What's it
sweet.
called?
Thank you, Nina.
What's the name of the book?
I Am She, the Collective. And because of the backdrop, I can't really get it that clear. Danny, you have your a copy near you?
Not near me. No,
Okay.
I can.
I'm going to
try
put it
to
up
get
in
one.
the.
At some point we get a break.
Man, hang on one
So
second.
yes, it is.
So,
I Am She. It is a collective of.
Okay, it's in the logo, you guys. If you look up in the top corner.
Oh, shit.
And again, this is a great table read, Dana. And Dana, can you share a little bit about this book with the viewers?
Yes. So the book includes 40 different co-authors, and it's geared towards women that had to write about something they overcame and when they first heard their voice roar. So my particular segment is that I suffered from depression for 12 years. It started with postpartum. And, we thought we cured the postpartum. I'm sorry. But, I still didn't feel right. And then I don't want to spoil it too much, but I had a couple of things happen in my life. God literally spared my life. And then through prayer and literally cutting out negative people in my life, only surrounding myself around people that meant well mentally. You outgrow some people. So I outgrew some people that I still kept around. And I literally feel like I just woke up one day and I was all right. And what it says is that God was just keeping me when I didn't know how to take care of myself. Literally in a depression of I didn't feel like brushing my teeth. I didn't feel like combing my hair, but I'm still a wife and I'm still a mother. And I make sure they all went out the house looking greasy, but I was feeling crazy.
Yeah.
On the inside. So
absolutely.
I got past it, and stories are much more profound than mine. Much more. So and beautiful pictures in it, I think. Anyway, Nita,
Thank you
tell
for
me.
sharing.
I read it, Dana. I don't want to go into it right now. We'll go into it a little later. Because this is something that we have to kind of hone in on when we talk about our books with the book club that's happening on the channel. As you know, we do have the book club that Wendy and Tommy's dad are actually, we spearheaded it. And Dana, you are a part of that book club with your book. So again, everyone, so Dana, we have the link for you to for anyone who wants to purchase the book. I'm going to find that. I'm going to put it up in the chat here and also on the screen. But again, everyone, please purchase the book, I Am She. And this will help.
Is it on Amazon?
It'd be better if you got it through me. It's less expensive. Yeah.
Okay. And we'll put that information up. But again, you guys, we have the book club that's coming. There are so many things that are going on with this channel. The cupcakes, we have a lot of things that we're brewing for the summer. And the next thing that we are going to be doing, we're going to be making a big appearance at a big event. And that's why My brother Mutiny Stan Dennis is here because without any more time to hold on to this, we want to talk about the event that's happening on May 29th.
Oh, thank you, Gypsy. I'm sorry, she gave me a shout out.
She did in a couple of
Yeah.
weeks, and we want to have Stan Dennis talk all about it, and we'll give you the platform right now.
Well, listen, it really just comes down to this. The reason why I made sure I was involved, it's 4 Sigmas in a Q. We're doing it together. We're all guys who, at some point in our lives, put on events, and that people, still revere those particular events. For me, in New York, my Greek Fest is probably one of the first things that jump out. I owned a restaurant across the street from Madison Square Garden called Rio's Soul and Privilege.
What is it called again?
My daughter's name, it was Rio's Soul and Caribbean Supper Cafe. We're talking about like 90s to the early 2000s. Okay. My parties at the Tavern on the Green, the Sadie Hawkins Affair, Eminent Productions, Hot Chocolate Productions. Shout out to all my New York City Greek and promoters. We did a lot of stuff. I was one of the first people doing the tunnel and all that. And so Tony and some of the other guys, they were doing parties in New York, in New Jersey. And so this event here, after COVID, after everybody was locked in, after everybody went through those lonely days of trying to figure out what's going to happen, and we all got shut in, and we all kind of like, we stopped seeing everybody.
Right.
And now that now that is coming, we're rising past that, and still have to be careful. Please wear a mask if you feel that way, but make sure you're vaccinated. Don't come to the party if you're not vaccinated.
Okay, so tell the audience where it's going to be held.
This place is. Do you have the flyer? Can you?
The flyer is actually the background is that we have it at Mr. East, right?
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's on St. George in Linden. It's going to be Sunday. It's a day party, May 29th. So I believe it's from 2 to 6 or 8 to 8. Thank you. Thank you for the particular details. Right. It's we have like 3 DJs coming, including DJ Qua, Jazzy B, and a couple other guys that are coming. Guys that are people who are known to make this event, as classy and fun. So that's why it's called the Sneaker Ball. All right. To fit our age. All right. So 30, 40, 50. Right.
Right. Appreciate the music. Appreciate the appreciation of music.
Put on your sneakers with your nice outfit. Put on your sneakers with your nice outfit.
Yes.
Put your sneakers on with your nice outfit. Right.
He's emphasizing that, you guys. He's emphasizing your nice outfit.
I hear it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, professional Saturday, professional Sunday, right?
Yeah.
In the spirit of that atmosphere, we like, this will be a nice way to get everyone to come out. Everyone should feel like that this is something for them. I can put on a linen suit, right? But have on a nice pair of sneakers, right? Exactly. I can't speak on how the ladies will dress, but
something. You guys been putting up flyers. You've been putting up like examples and different ideas of what to wear on social media.
Summer dresses, with sneakers on. Right. And the big point to that is get ready to dance. Get ready to have some fun. Right. You're never too old to smile, laugh, and what I call it is, let's make new memories.
There you go.
Yes.
Right. Because all through that COVID time, when we get to pick up the phone and talk to some people, we were just talking about the past because we were all stuck in the house, not looking at anything for the future. So that's what this is about. This is about, let's come on out, let's see each other, let's celebrate life. Because I'm trying not to talk about all the people that we lost.
Yeah.
Right. But we lost a whole lot. I lost a lot of good friends to it, you know. And so, you know, trying to look forward, you know, life is to live, you know what I mean, not to just exist. And so this is what this is about. Let's celebrate life. And so come on out, let's have some fun.
Okay.
Come on there. How much are tickets going for right now?
If you buy it from any of the other guys, it's $100. If you buy it from me, it's 35.
That's what I said about the book. Come see me.
Oh, gosh. We're gonna put it up on the community page.
Yeah.
And
So if you go, so my Cash App is Stan, and I'm a Sigma, Phi Beta Sigma. So it's Stan Sigma. You put the Cash App sign, Stan Sigma, $35. I put your name on the list. You're in with the advanced ticket price. We also, you know, have a VIP situation, but that's mostly for birthdays. But I'll hook you ladies up. Don't worry about it.
Thank you. Okay, there it is. I have it. I have the Cash App. I have the Cash App up as to how you can contact or get your ticket through Stan. You purchase tickets in advance. Are there going to be any tickets at the door? Are you able to pay at the door?
Yeah, it'll be a lot more money.
Oh, it's a lot more money at the door. So I suggest everyone on our platform has already paid for their tickets. We're all locked in. And again, it's a gala. Now, you know, I'm looking at it as a gala, you know, and I was talking to my brother-in-law over the weekend, and he's like, there are lots of sneaker balls. They have them in Chicago. They have them in Pittsburgh. You know, they have them all over. It is a gala. So think of it as going to maybe even the Met Gala, but it's an event where you're dressing up, but you're dressing down on your feet. But again, a lot of people wear those $1,000 Kanye West Yeezys, or you could break it down and put on your Converse, all sorts, whatever you want to wear. But it is a gala where you're wearing sneakers.
Yeah.
For me, that's how I look at it. And who doesn't want to dress up? And with sneakers.
Yeah,
I mean, like, you don't have to wear stilettos.
It's going to be so much fun.
You don't have to put on stilettos. You can wear sneakers, everybody. So I'm totally excited because, again, this is about everyone. It's a reunion. For me, it's a reunion.
It really is.
And that's what it's about.
Who's giving it? Stan, Eric Eatman, Edie, Tony Motley, Tony, Scotty, Howard. If anybody has been to South Mountain Reservation, to any of the South Mountain Reservation parties,
stop it.
I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to stop right there. Any of the Greek Fest, Jones Beach. Jones Beach, but Jones Beach was serious because you had to walk over this long oasis.
First, you had to drive there from Jersey.
Well, I thank y'all for coming.
Oh my! And then you had to go through the crowd of the guys coming. It was almost like a hazing activity.
But listen, ladies, the whole time y'all didn't know that was mine.
I didn't know. I did not know.
No idea.
I mean, we were from Jersey, and it was a distance because it was in Long Island, right?
Yeah, that's why I went to college.
It was a drive. Right.
Go to Long Island, and I mean, it was literally like you had to go through like a chain. It was literally like a hazing activity. Well, let me not say that. I'm sorry. Let me scratch that, everybody. It was literally like you were going through just going through something where you didn't know what the unknown.
Oh, you wasn't talking about your pink, so it was like a hazing thing.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
So
I just use that term. I don't know.
So in case y'all didn't know, like I went to school in Long Island. I went to CW Post, Long Island University.
Oh, okay.
Right. And so and back in '84, it all started because the line that I was a dean of, one of the boys, his birthday was the 4th of July. And I was like, well, we're on campus because we didn't come home. We just stayed around. We all played football. And so it was like, yo, let's tell everybody to go to the beach for Mike's birthday. And then another set of crew, my boy Vinny, who was Alpha, and Mike was a Sigma. They had a pool party. They came to our beach party, and they was like, we're going to do this instead of the pool party, because every year the pool party, the after party was cleaning up the pool party. Okay. Right? And there was no after party going to the beach. He just put everything in the garbage can and split. So they did it, right? After we did it. And then the next year we did it together, did an after party together. And then so from 85, from 84 to 85 was maybe like 100, 200 people. By 88, right? Well, 89 when the Qs and the Kappas decided that they needed to play spades. It blew up. 10,000 people showed up.
I didn't know 10,000 people showed up. I did not know you were behind this because I mean we would try. I mean that was a long distance. That was a distance. And finally, when you got there, you were
we were there.
It was serious. It was lots of fun. You had a lot of great artists that performed, and I mean it was major.
Wendy came out there. Wendy used to host a couple of my step shows. She was some of the hosts. Wendy came to step shows. Wendy was at the Greek Fest. Wendy hosted the step shows. I even had Wendy. I gave something called the Black Family Reunion, and Wendy even got in the dunk tank.
Wow.
Mad cool.
She's a trooper.
So yeah,
it's great. This event, because as you guys said, it's not a party, it's an event, and this is going to be an event. Like I said, it's just going to be a reunion. Like everyone who was a part of all Club 88, College Night, you guys. I mean, it's a conglomerate of all the producers and promoters in New Jersey, tri-state area. And like I said, this is the hottest ticket Memorial Day weekend. That's all I'm going to say. And when I saw it pop up on social media, I was like, I'm there. And I already knew that I was there. I'm in South Florida. I need my Jersey fix.
I'm in Maryland. I need my Jersey fix.
I'm telling you, because I listen to my club music, house music, going to work every day. I have it right on programming every day. I have to have one song to get me amped up, and then I'm ready for work. Right. But that's what I do. You know what I mean? I'm just going to be on that. That's what I do. And thank you so much, Dan, for bringing this out, bringing this back to everyone who's in need of this. I mean, like you said, we've been inside for so long. We need to come together. We've lost loved ones. It's something that's needed to kind of form together as kind of like bringing back memories.
I mean, look what happened. To be honest, right? Look what happened already. Mm-hmm. We're on this kind of call talking to Tommy. You hear my voice or you saw my name and you were like, I know him.
That's how it happened. I was like, I know him. I was like, wait, let me put this all together. And then I got your number and I was like, oh, and I freaked out. Like when I called you, I literally cried when I got off the phone with you. But it was happy tears.
Yeah. And so, like, I haven't seen the two of you in a long time. But again, my mom was so happy to hear from you. And Dana, you better call my mom now, because if I tell her you're in trouble. Yeah.
I got it. I got all the numbers.
And speaking of that, for all you people that are out there from East Orange, my mom was Patricia's House of Beauty on 4th Avenue.
Yep.
Almost every person knows Miss Pat from getting her hair done either on Grove Street and Park Avenue or on 4th Avenue, right? And my sister Wanda had a beauty parlor also, right? So all you East Orange, I'm from 19th Street, 4th Ave, right? Yes. So all you people who knew me back then, come on out and holler.
Come on out. It's gonna be it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be so much fun.
It's gonna be a reunion. I'm looking forward to it. I'm very looking for this day to happen, and I'm just excited. Totally excited. So Sam, I'm so thankful. I'm glad you're able to come on, and you're gonna maybe one more time you'll be on again. We're gonna talk about this again, because this is just the beginning. We have so many other things to discuss, so many other platforms to discuss, and now you're officially a cupcake.
Yes,
no, I'm blue velvet. I'm blue velvet now.
Okay, blue velvet.
Okay.
We have to give him a blue velvet cupcake. Blue velvet.
There you go.
We need some cupcakes for the Super Bowl.
Matter of fact, speaking about that, I'm gonna throw somebody that you need to get on. You need to get this Kappa on, right? He's Cake Man Raven. He's the best
Where's he
red
located?
velvet in Harlem.
Okay.
So he's literally the best. So he made the inauguration cake for Clinton, for
give me his information.
like,
We might have him do
a lot.
something for the event and drop something
Yeah.
off.
And so
So
his red velvet cake.
Ooh.
No, once you have it, you will hate anybody else who has ever given you. I promise you, I'm not like.
People who have
And
contacted us for cupcakes, but we do need some for the sneaker ball because we're going to have some at our table.
So I'll make sure he brings some. Matter of fact, it gives me an excuse. It gives me a reason to get some of his cake.
Yes. So we're all going to get ready, and this is going to be great. Great. So I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew about it. If you don't know about it now, you know. Even if you're in South Florida, coming up to Jersey for the weekend, it's Memorial Day weekend. So make sure you get your ticket. Stan's information is up to purchase your ticket. And again, that also includes like an hors d'oeuvre, a meal. There's some type of meal that's included in the ticket as well, correct?
There'll be food available.
Okay.
But you can catch your menu.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Oh, I'm excited. Marlene, how you feeling?
I'm feeling terrific, and I'm excited too, and I'm looking forward to meeting folks and making new friends.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, don't just live. You know, don't just exist. Live this. Live
absolutely. Live the life.
Right?
Enjoy yourself. You know, everything there's so much positivity that's going on in the world, and focus on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
That's what's going to keep us moving. That's what's going to keep us going, right, Dana?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we're not our grandparents type of people. You know, at our age, we still trying to do things. And
I'm not throwing in the towel.
When they were our age, you go, Grandma,
we're turning the clock back. That's how I look at it. I'm going to be honest with you.
Right. Yeah. So
I do my dips in the kitchen. I practice my Megan Thee Stallion dip. Make sure I get that knee down.
I did too. It really is
not Megan.
Tommy over there somewhere, his head turned when he heard that. his head turned.
Goals, girl.
Go ahead, girl. Put your AKA mirror up when you said. She said Meg Thee Stallion workout.
I'm trying to get it. I'm trying to working out every day.
Dana, say that out loud.
Girl, between now and next week.
Dana, I saw you at that retreat. Dana, I saw you at the retreat, Dana. You posted with that retreat what you were doing, so you got down with it.
On the WooSaaaa, because I'm ready to get some cupcakes and some Italian cheeseburgers from home. I got things to do.
Exactly.
She said she coming up there with a reason.
So it's gonna be great. I'm so glad we're able to make this happen tonight, and that everything worked out nicely. And it's just a great happy hump day, WooSaaaa Wednesday. We're just gonna keep moving and pressing forward and making everything happen that we want to. There's no turning back at this point. We're all moving forward.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all about. So yeah, I think hey, we're gonna wrap up this evening. It was a great night tonight, and I'm just happy that we were able to make this happen tonight. Sneaker Ball May 29th. Yeah. Let me put that ticker, should be up ticking right now on the crawler underneath on the screen. You have Stan's information. Stan will be back on before the event. And again, everybody, this has just been a great night. Keep it positive. Get your rest, keep moving, get your body going. Whatever you have to do, just make yourself not be stagnant. Keep yourself and be positive. You know what I mean? There's so much going on in the world. There's room for everybody. That's how I look at it.
Absolutely.
There's room for everyone. Remember that, right? Yeah. And all I got to say is, who do you got for the NBA Finals? You got Dallas Mavericks, Golden State, Miami Heat, or Boston Celtics right now? Who do you have? Celtics, Dana. You got Celtics. Marlene, who you got?
Stan, wait a minute. Did you say the Knicks?
No.
You know what? That may be an option, but I'm going to go with the Knicks also. Sorry, I don't know anyone.
The Knicks are not an option, Marlene.
I know. Okay. All right.
Not an option.
Celtics. Boston.
Celtics, okay. Stan,
Celtics.
The New York Giants.
come on.
It was actually New Jersey Giants, but it's I'm not. It's the Knicks. It's the
I
Knicks.
just gave you 4 choices. You got the Celtics, you got the Heat, you have Golden State, and you have Dallas.
The one that wears the Knicks uniform in the next game. I'm a Knicks
All right,
fan.
well, I'm going for
I'm a,
Miami Heat. There we go.
I'm a,
Miami Heat. Let's go Heat. That's because
I'm a Knicks. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm
I
sorry.
converted. I had to convert over. I had to leave the Nets once they left us to go to Brooklyn.
Yeah, so you're not getting me to say that.
So, all right. So we're gonna see what happens when it comes down to the final 2.
Yeah.
But right now, it's the best out of 7, and we'll see who takes it. And good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone in the whole NBA playoff semifinals. All right. So yeah, you guys, it's about 10:33 Eastern time. We're getting ready to sign off. And thank you everyone for joining us tonight and rocking out with the cupcakes. You guys rocked out. Thanks for hanging with us. Everybody who's watching, who commented in the chats. We love you. The cupcakes are here for you, and we are not going anywhere at all. Okay, and we'll see you guys. We're going to be going live. We're going to be going live at the Sneaker Ball. Just to let you know, we're going live at the Sneaker Ball. So look for everybody's camera to be on. We're excited. Thank you again, Stan, Noonie, the man, Dennis, for coming on tonight. You guys, Stan will be back on Stan's family. Dana, I didn't hear you.
I didn't say anything.
Stan, I'm gonna give you a call.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
It's all family here, and that's how we do it on the Cupcake Show, you guys, because it gets down, and we have the all for you. We got the latest news, the hottest stories. We didn't even get a chance to talk about the Billboard Music Awards, but Diddy, big ups to you. You did your thing, and we'll talk about that later. But big ups to Mary J. Blige for getting the Icon Award. Janet Jackson presented it to her. It was great. It was historical. And again, everyone who's reinventing themselves, Puffy's letting us know you can reinvent yourself because there's always room to keep it moving. And
just keep going.
Right?
Miss Davis, pleasure meeting you.
Good meeting you, and I can't wait to see you and your wife at the Sneaker Ball.
Yes. Okay.
Fun.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Like we said, we don't sip the tea, we don't drink the tea. We cut the cake, and what do? We eat it too.
Good night,
I like that.
Stay blessed,
everybody.
Have a great week.
Stay safe
and stay blessed. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.